Hi ladies, happy Friday the 5th of February. Sophie from SV Sports Therapy based at your Gunpowder Park gym. My team and I specialise in treating muscle, joint, bone and nerve injuries and would love to share some information today with you about your knees. We often get asked what is the cracking in the knees, and it's really common. It can happen in teenagers, adults, OAPs, male, female, and it can often be painful and it can often be not painful. So what is the cracking in the knees? Most of the time it is a release of air bubbles in your knee as you bend the knee and then straighten the knee. You're reducing the pressure, you're creating more pressure in the knee as you're bending and then releasing it. Sometimes the cracking can be the kneecap moving as you're bending and straightening the knee, and sometimes it can be a flicky piece of elasticated band on the side of your knee, famously known as the IT band. So I'd love to share a couple of important tips for you this afternoon if you are getting cracking in your knees, and also if you're not but you're keen about improving the health of your knees. So the first exercise I'm going to show you is stretching the side of the thigh and around the buttock area. Why would we be looking at this area when you have cracking in your knees? Well, if you think about a sandwich, you've got the loaf, you've got the slice of bread being the hip, and you've got the slice of bread being your ankle. The thing in the middle, I always revert to peanut butter because I absolutely love peanut butter. If you think about when you've got that sandwich, you're squashing the peanut butter. The knee is the peanut butter. So it's brainless, it's the middleman. It's what happens to the two slices of bread, i.e. the hip and the feet, that have a knock-on effect to the knee. So when you treat and work on releasing your hip and your feet, your ankles, that can have a positive change to your knees. So we're going to have a stand and we're going to work on the side of the thigh. So you're going to hold on to something, and I'm going to be working on my right leg. So I know it's reversed on the camera. It's my right leg. So I'm going to place my right leg behind my left. And I'm going to stick my right hip out to the side. I'm going to lean onto something, and I'm just going to create a little bit of a stretch. So I'm creating pressure on the side of my hip and pulling over. And this is stretching and releasing the connective tissue on the side of my thigh. Don't worry too much about, oh, what muscle is this working, and what can I feel, and can you feel this, and oh, I can't really feel too much pain. You're not looking for pain, you're just feeling for a stretch. And you can change this by increasing the distance between your 2 feet, and you can either add a little bit of a bend into it. So have a play around. This arm, I call this the driver. So you're driving the arm up and over, and then you might want to just create a little bit of a slow momentum there, okay? Have a go, see how you're feeling. See if you need to bend forward slightly, or if you need to arch yourself backwards. When I arch backwards, I feel even a deeper stretch at the front, okay? And change sides. So now I'll be stretching the left. So left leg behind, and then taking the arm up and over, and then stretching the side of the left thigh, okay? And some people might feel this all the way down the side of their knee, depending on how tight the connective tissue is around here. We're all made slightly different. Our left side of our body does something different to our right side. That's why we're dominant on one side, okay? And using the arm as a driver, going over to the side, okay? Super, good. Another exercise that would be really great for you. I know how competent all of your fantastic coaches are at AbFab, and when they say to you about squatting and about hinging your hips back, really take their advice on that. A lot of clients come to see us in clinic and they have knee pain, and it's caused by squatting. So they've stopped squatting, and then when I ask them to show me how they're squatting, this is how they'd normally squat. Like that. They normally squat with their knees. Now I ask them to show me how they would squat onto the toilet. So if we were to put, and imagine this being the toilet here, they would then squat like that. If they squatted the first way, like this, their bottom's going to miss the toilet hole, okay? So if you put a chair behind you, it allows you to subconsciously drive the hips backwards to sink onto the chair or onto the toilet seat. That is why a lot of people get knee pain when they squat, and how squatting has been given a bad name for knees. So when you're in your classes at AbFab, think about driving the hips backwards first. You want to unlock the hips first, and then the knees will guide afterwards. So hips, knees, sit down. Squeeze the buttocks as you drive upwards. Hips, knees, sit down. Squeeze the buttocks. Imagine you've got a £50 note in between your buttocks. Squeeze that £50 note and then stand up. So think about the momentum. How do I get up from sitting down? It's not a rocking forwards and backwards movement. It's the contraction of the buttocks, lifting you up, and that allows less pressure on your knees. So let's recap. Why do your knees click? Most of the time it is a change of pressure, an increase and decrease of pressure, creating a pressing of the gas bubbles. If, for example, I were to click my fingers right now, I'm sure you've just heard that. It is no sign of arthritis. There's no studies to correlate the clicking of joints with arthritic changes, and that's a positive news. To stretch the side of your thigh, the connective tissue down the side of the thigh and around the hip, maybe buttock down to the knee to help reduce that tightness. Especially with us ladies, we have something called a large Q angle. The Q angle is the angle between our hips and the middle of our knees. Why do we have a larger Q angle than men? Because we childbear, or we're designed to childbear. The third tip of today is hinging with your hips as you're squatting. So don't squat with your knees, squat with your hips. Hinge your hips backwards, unlock the knees, sit down, squeeze the buttocks as you stand up. Super. Join me next Friday. The whole of this month is related to your knee health, so we'd love to show you some more tips as the weeks go on. Of course, reach out to us via social media, on the Facebook AbFab page, or pick up the phone, and I would love to have a chat with you. That's Sophie from SV Sports Therapy. Have a wonderful sunny Friday. Bye ladies.